Hello everyone, I am Cosmic Dreamer. Today we are going to talk about alien mummies. Are there aliens in the universe? Especially if they come to Earth. This is something people have always been curious about. For nearly a century, this mysterious totem-like existence has been repeatedly discussed, but no one has been able to provide conclusive evidence to prove the existence of aliens. Until this time, Mexico held a congressional hearing on the theme of UFOs and aliens. Several strange alien fossils were directly displayed, and 3D scans of their interiors were also shown and said that they came from 1,000 years ago. This was the first direct evidence of the existence of aliens in human history, and it immediately caused a huge sensation. Are these alien fossils real? Have aliens already arrived on Earth? Today, we will comprehensively analyze this incident, and you will naturally have the answer by the end. On September 12, 2023, a piece of explosive news quickly occupied the headlines of major media around the world. That was that Mexico held the country's first ever congressional hearing on the theme of UFOs and aliens. Mexican journalist Jaime Maussan and several researchers showed two strange-looking mummy samples. The two alien mummies are short in stature, only 30 centimeters in length, with facial features and limbs similar to humans. But there are only 3 fingers on the hands. One is shorter, like a thumb, and the other 2 are longer. The feet have 3 toes, and the head, very wide and extending backwards, with a huge brain. The face has distinct facial features, even 2 nostrils and 2 eye sockets. According to Jaime Maussan, this is the first time that these 2 mummies have been displayed to the outside world. Not only do they have nothing to do with humans, they have nothing to do with any species on the Earth. He also said that this discovery brings unlimited possibilities to scientific exploration and shows that human beings are not alone in the universe. Jaime Maussan's shocking remarks were supported by Benitez, a famous Mexican forensic expert. He said that through multiple methods, such as X-ray detection and 3D reconstruction with the Naval Research Office, as well as carbon-14 determination, DNA analysis, etc., it can be determined that the composition of the 2 mummies has nothing to do with humans, and even with all living things on the Earth. None of them are related. Nearly 1 per 3 of DNA is unknown. He also provided some details, saying that the brains and vision of the 2 mummies were very developed, but they had no teeth in their mouths. They may have maintained their body functions by ingesting some kind of nutrient solution. Afterwards, they asked the National Autonomous University of Mexico to conduct carbon dating tests on the 2 mummies. They determined that they were more than 1,000 years old. Jaime Maussan said that the 2 alien mummies were discovered in 2017 in the Sechura Desert in southern Peru, which is close to the country's famous Nazca Lines monuments. The mummy was found in a diatom mine. The environment here is extremely dry. After more than 1,000 years of storage, fossils were formed. The mummy looked like a stone sculpture, with debris falling from the body. These are diatomaceous earth. Because the body is extremely dry and does not allow the growth of any bacteria and fungi, the internal organs and tissues of these mummies are also well preserved. After X-ray examination, these mummies have obvious bone structures, and they have a metal object on their chest that is shaped like an eye patch. After testing, the main component of these metals is osmium. This metal has a high density and is usually used to make ballpoint pen balls. There were several eggs in one of the mummies, indicating that these creatures were oviparous. The mummy had egg-like objects, and its belly was slightly bulging. Jaime Maussan said that she should be a female. Throughout the hearing, in addition to displaying two alien mummies, a large number of X-ray scans were also released, clearly showing their bones, joints, and brains. This is different from any previous alien revelations. Not only did the aliens be moved directly to the scene, but so many photos of the body structure were also released. Without these X-ray scan photos, it would only be possible to judge whether these mummies are aliens based on their appearance. Starmen are really difficult. After all, no one has ever seen real aliens. But these skeletal structures are very easy to judge. Two anthropologists and paleontologists, Nicholas and Aclasay, immediately gave their professional opinions after seeing these X-ray photos. They first repaired the X-rays of the palm bones of the alien mummies to get clearer photos, and then compared the photos of human palm bones. The picture above is of a human, and the picture below is of an alien mummy. If they are aliens or non-human creatures, then their skeletons cannot be exactly the same as humans, but they found abnormalities in one of the phalanges. One hand bone of this alien mummy is exactly the same as the phalanges of human feet. In addition, the bones of human palms are very closely connected. One is convex and the other is concave, and then connected through fibrous connective tissue so that they can move freely. Looking at the joints of the palm bones of these mummies, they are simply disorganized. They are spliced together for the sake of splicing. If you look carefully, these bones cannot be movable. The arm of the alien mummy is composed of a human axial bone, and the other arm is composed of a human tibia and two phalanges. Through the contrast between blue and red, you can more clearly discover which human bones the palm bones of these alien mummies are derived from. The biggest loophole is that the alien mummy released on the scene said that it is only 30 centimeters high, which is equivalent to the height of a young monkey. And the palm bones of these published X-ray photos should be 40 centimeters in length, according to the estimates of two scientists. The length of these palms exceeds the height of the mummies at the scene. In other words, the X-ray photos provided at the Mexican Congress hearing are not scanned photos of the mummies at the scene at all. The arm bones of the alien mummy are from human femurs, and the leg bones of the mummies are an inverted human femur. If you look carefully at the two femurs of this mummy, you can see that they even have different heights. This shows that this alien was either born with a deformity or was paralyzed for a long time. If such a bone structure walked on the earth, they would not be able to take a single step. Then zoom in on the bone details of the two palms. The bones on both sides are in different directions, and they are completely placed together randomly. Looking at the head structure of the alien mummy, the huge head has an amazing brain capacity, which is in line with our imagination of aliens, with big heads and intelligence. But the paleontologist recognized the skull structure almost at a glance. The position of the brain, hemispheres, inner ear, and cerebellum was exactly the same as that of the llama skull. They concluded that when making these mummies, they cut off the celestial cap part of the alpaca skull and then trimmed the face in reverse, and then trimmed the alpaca's slender mouth into a backward extended alien head. The two scientists were able to determine that the two alien mummies were composed of human and animal bones, plant fibers, and synthetic adhesives simply through X-ray photos released at the scene. It is 100% certain that it is man-made, and it is also very shoddy. In scientific research, to verify the authenticity of a thing or the establishment of a theory, we cannot only consider one independent source, but must verify and cross-compare with multiple parties to draw a conclusion. For example, during the Apollo moon landing program that year, the United States brought back 382 kilograms of moon rocks and gave them to 135 countries around the world, and researchers from these countries studied them. In particular, the Soviet Union also brought back some moon rocks. Through comparison, it was determined that these rocks were indeed from the moon, and it also verified the authenticity of the U.S. moon landing. Therefore, the Soviet Union never questioned the U.S. moon landing fraud. The composition of these moon rocks contains more metals and radioactivity. These are completely different from Earth rocks, but the silicate composition in them is almost similar to that of the Earth. This is evidence that the moon broke apart after a large collision. The hypothesis of going out. China's Chang'e project also brought back 1,731 grams of lunar soil from the moon, which was then given to Russia and France. Russia also has soil brought back from the moon during the Soviet period, and the authenticity of China's lunar soil has been verified through comparison. Therefore, any major event cannot be claimed by only one party. Another example is South Korea's LK-99 room temperature superconducting technology some time ago. From the beginning, it independently published a shocking paper that may change the future of mankind. Many countries have verified that this technology is not feasible. LK-99 is not a superconductor, even at extremes. It also does not have superconductivity at low temperatures. It is just a material with very high resistance. This is the limitation of independent sources. Only through repeated verification by multiple parties can the authenticity be obtained. Any shocking news released by an independent party should not be taken lightly. As for the alien mummy incident in Mexico, this major discovery in human history was not handed over to any third-party country or agency for verification. Instead, an agency designated by them concluded that these were from non-terrestrial creatures, which itself is extremely abnormal. Moreover, they have not published complete analysis data. Only if these data and samples are shared with multiple research laboratories and a consistent conclusion can be drawn after analysis, can you regard it as a major discovery. Scientific discoveries are definitely not established through single measurement and observation. When Einstein released his theory of relativity and gained a high reputation, it was definitely not the moment of release, but the time when a large number of scientists came to the same conclusion after verifying it. I personally absolutely believe that there are aliens in the universe. After all, we humans are the biggest evidence that there are aliens. There cannot be only one single species in a sea. The same is true for the universe. But because of the ultra-large scale of the universe, whether aliens have discovered it and come to the Earth is a question worth thinking about. When our enthusiasm is exhausted, even if you see real aliens in the future, you will think they are fake. The most terrifying thing is when the real and the fake are confused. Okay, that's all the content of this video. Thank you for your attention. See you next time.